Access Academies aims to provide all students with access to a top-quality parochial school education. Here to explain more about the organization and what Access Academies provide are Nick McDowell, Director of Graduate Support of Most Holy Trinity Catholic School, and Tom Mackowiak, Executive Director of Access Academies. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks,
So
Sarah.
we love always talking about education and what's going on in St. Louis in terms of bettering our education and our students, and this is a great way to do that with Access Academies. Why don't you start us off and tell us about the program and what it is?
Well, thanks. Access is a non-for-profit. We're located here in St. Louis, and we make a 7-year plus commitment to students from the urban core. These are low-income, first-generation students that live in the city of St. Louis and maybe the surrounding county, and we do that through enrichment, through counseling, and through scholarships.
Okay, and so are those you have these three pillars, the
Yes,
three pillars
those are the three
of the
pillars.
partnership. And so talk about how was it started? How was the organization started? This is your 7th year, is that correct?
Well,
No,
we
your
started in 05,
05.
so we're going on,
Oh.
almost our 13th year.
13, yeah.
But it came out of, there's a school Loyola Academy that uses a longer school day model, and they said, why don't we apply that to existing schools? And so what we did is we're really an added value. We, basically take these partner schools that we work with, two in North St. Louis and one in South St. Louis, and we put in these enrichment programs. We put in the counseling through the graduate support, which Nick will talk about later, and then we also provide a fair amount of high school scholarships to really get these kids into top quality college prep high schools.
And which schools are you working with? Which parochial schools are you working
So the schools that we're working with on the two in North St. Louis are Most Holy Trinity and St. Louis Catholic Academy, and then we also have St. Cecilia's, which is in South City.
Okay.
And we have total about 180 in our middle school programs, and then we have about 170 students in high school.
That's great. That's great. Nick, I want to kind of move over to you talking about the graduate support, because so many times these days the focus is on outcomes and data and the success of a program and how we measure that, and maybe speak to sort of your role and what it is that you do.
Wow, I think my role is just a lot of is advocacy. We do a good job of just basically being there for the families, being there for the students. Like Tom said, that 7+ year commitment, working with these families from 6th grade all the way through college. And I think a huge role or a huge part of that is just knowing the families, being there with the families trusting in us to help them with financial issues, just social emotional things, and just being there as a part of their family, an extension of their family to help them through these different times.
So we'll kind of take a step back for a second, because we're looking at students and families. First, the core focus is getting them through middle school, and then they get to high school and high schools throughout the St. Louis area, parochial schools and non-parochial schools. Correct. Is that correct?
Yeah, a majority of our students go into the private high school sector. We do have some families just for whatever reason choose to go into the public school, but we support them at all the levels. Even though they might choose to go into the public sector, they're still part of the program. We still provide them with ACT prep classes, additional resources. We still help them with college applications. So again, once they're in our program, they're locked in for that time frame.
And as we talked about, you've been around now for over a decade, so a lot of those students are in college, and so you continue that on. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's amazing just seeing students who are in college now and just being able to study abroad, just being part of their different ambassadors on their campuses. And so it's just amazing seeing kids from middle school into high school and then on to colleges as adults now. So it's a cool process to see.
Well, I want to hear some success stories. We're going to have to take a break, but I do want to have some success stories when we come back for our second segment. But for now, I've got the information for you on the screen. It's Access Academies. It's ensuring all students have access to a top quality education. For more information, you can call 314-898-0430 or go to accessacademies.org or email info@accessacademies.org. But don't go anywhere. We're going to learn more about Access Academies, how you can access the partnerships and programs that they have. We're going to learn more right after this break. Please stay with us.